welcome everybody to episode 5 of Rime the Frost Maiden. I am Samson Paul, and I'm joined by everybody here tonight. We got Clara, Matt, Billy, Nick, Brian, and Nate.
Hello.
Bonjour.
What up?
What's up? What is up with everyone? What's going on, guys? Anything new going on you guys want to talk about shortly?
College sucks. Don't do it.
That's totally fair.
College rules. Stay in school, kids.
See, they always say stay in school, but Claire's here to give the less popular message. Books.
Well, don't stay in school until you're like 80 years old or something.
No. At least get done by 25.
Yeah, old people shouldn't have access to education. I agree.
It's true, though. They do get to go to school cheaper than the young people do, which is crazy, and neither here nor there. This is a DVD stream. So, alright, well, if nobody else has anything, I guess we gotta get right into the recap. Last week, what was going on was you guys departed East Haven after turning in the quest at East Haven, turning in the Chewinga over to Velen Harpel, and made your way westward through Bryn Shander to Targos. And Lysander stayed behind to investigate the invisible footprints that seemed to be also appearing in East Haven, similar to how they did in Caer Konig. So the party of 5 traveled to Bryn Shander and stopped at the tavern where they had met the speaker, Duvessa Shane, and Sheriff Markham Southwell. They had made mention that they were looking for people to undertake a quest on their behalf to go search for a missing shipment that had gone rogue or has since disappeared, with no mention of the caravaneers that had been piloting said caravan. With that in mind, Leoponte had gotten spooked by a woman sitting at a table who refused to speak anything, and he and Carcass quickly left the inn and stayed over at House of the Morning Lord, the temple in Bryn Shander. Staying for the night, leaving in the morning, traveled to Targos where they were in search for this killer that is acting as an arbiter for justice on behalf of Auril the Frost Maiden. Arriving in Targos, they were able to locate the vicinity of where he was participating in this merchant caravan, helping provide security for this Toga. And quickly devising a plan to be able to draw him out into the wilderness and see if he would act on the assumed guilt proposed by Leoponte onto Zizix, which the party had left town and waited until nightfall. And soon after, Cephik Caltro had arrived with 2 of his friends in tow and offered to provide safe passage for Zizix to flee the wrath of the Frost Maiden as executed by the local township he was from. But upon breaking formation, Cephik immediately knew something was awry and tried to take Zizix hostage, but Zizix was able to wriggle himself free from any grasp and made the distinction that Cephik said that he will not escape the Wrath of the Frost Maiden, and he will have to pay. And we pick up with everyone rolling initiative.
That will be a 21 from Leon Ponte.
Give me 1 second. Alright, you had a 21?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Not 30, 21. Come on, D&D Beyond. Carcass.
I have a 21 also.
Okay. Eclipse of the Moon.
I have an 11.
Zizix.
13.
13. Vega.
6.
6. Fantastic. Alright. And first up is going to be either Carcass or Leoponte. Carcass and Eclipse and Vega are off to the side of the road about 35-40 feet away, hiding out and waiting to see what was going to become of this. And Leoponte had went off the road into the wilderness to reconvene with them. But first up, who would like to go first? Between Carcass and LaPointe.
I will graciously allow Carcass to go first.
Okay. How far is the closest person that I get to kill?
Everyone's going to be about 40 feet away from you.
Okay, I will use my action to dash towards them, and whoever is the closest, I will then use my bonus action to do a goring rush.
Okay. And because Cephik was following Zizix down the road and escaping from him, he would be the closest to you.
Okay. That is a 22 to hit on my goring rush.
And that will hit.
That is 9 points of damage.
9 damage.
Yes, that is
Okay.
piercing damage.
Okay, very good. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No, that will end my turn.
Alright. Leoponte.
How far away is the altercation with Carcass from me at this point?
Be about 35-40 feet still. Oh, I'm sorry, no. You're looking at 15 to 20.
Okay, then I will rush over and take an attack against him with my short sword as well.
Are you going to attack? Okay, so you're also going to hit Cephik.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That will be a 15.
That will hit.
Excellent. 1 second. That will be a 9 damage.
Okay, very good. Anything else?
That will be all.
Alright, next up is the 2 bandits that he has with him. Or 2 of his friends. They are going to join in on the altercation, and they're going to be targeting Zizix.
Also.
One of them is going to come to you with their scimitar and attack with a 19 to hit.
Just hits.
Just hits. Okay. And they will do a total of 6 points of damage to you. The second one will come back and also target Zizix. This one is going to try and grapple him, so this will be against your AC as well with a strength modifier. And he rolls a nat 1, so he cannot position his feet correctly on the ice below him to really get a good grasp of what's going on. So, with that is the end of their turn. But Zizix is surrounded by 2 of his companions. Meanwhile, Cephik is in battle with Carcass and Leoponte. This brings us to Zizix's turn.
Zizix is gonna scream, "Oh God, somebody save me!" And as he's screeching, pulls his shield back up, and another undulating, wobbling mass of chaotic energy will just explode from it towards the one that hit him.
Okay. Is that a roll against his AC, or is this a dodge?
No, I gotta roll the hit.
Okay.
That's an 18.
That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Sure.
That's a total of 4 acid damage.
4 acid. Okay, very good. Anything else while you're cowering behind your shield? As a bolt of acidic energy just pierces through his heavy winter clothing and you see it disintegrating away slightly.
That's all I can do.
Okay. Next up is going to be Cephik Caltro. And he's going to look directly at Carcass and kind of tilt his head sideways, and in a blink of an eye, from Carcass's perspective, he is no longer there. He appears adjacent to Zizix, as he has used Misty Step. And Cephik is going to attack Zizix. He will attack with his long sword. And that's going to be a 14 to hit.
Swing and a miss.
Alright. Then with his second attack, he grasps his offhand, and with a crush of ice, you hear the sound of another ice weapon manifesting in his offhand. This is a small dagger, and he's going to reach out and try to cut you across your chest with a nat 20.
Question, does that do like frost damage by chance?
Yeah, it will.
Then I'm gonna use a reaction
Okay.
and do absorb elements.
Alright. You're choosing ice, I assume. Cold.
Yes.
Okay. The main hit is going to be 11 points of piercing, plus 6 cold damage. So 17 total.
I'm down.
Oh boy. Okay. And Cephik is going to look down at Zizix, and he sees that he's struggling. And he looks back to the rest of the party, and he pulls his longsword and he presses it to Zizix's neck, and he says, "Forgo your attack. This one is mine." And now it is Eclipse of the Moon's turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, I would like to. Man. I would like to rush over to. Well, I guess I'm gonna help Zizix out
Okay.
and come in for an attack. Sephic.
Right. Go for it.
That's a 13.
That will hit.
I'm going to swing at his torso with my quarterstaff.
Alright, what's your damage?
That is 10 damage.
Very nice. And then you have your bonus action left if you would like to utilize that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a swipe at his face with unarmed strike.
Okay, go for it.
That's 13.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
That's an 11.
Ooh, very nice. Anything else?
That's all on my turn.
Alright. And next up is going to be Vega.
Okay, so Sephic and his two guys are both kind of surrounding Zizix.
Yep.
And Eclipse is up there near him.
Mm-hmm.
How far away are they from me?
I think they're still in the range of about 35 to 40 feet.
Okay, I will move my full movement to get closer to them.
Okay.
And then I am going to use one of my wild shapes to cast Wildfire Spirit.
Okay.
10 feet behind them.
Okay.
So he will, so 10 feet behind him, there will appear a giant flaming elephant. An actual elephant, not a loxodon.
Oh, yeah.
And as it appears, they will each need to make a dexterity saving throw, all three of them.
Okay, so Sephic got a 13, one of the bandits got a 19, and the other one got a natural 1. I think the same one that had trouble keeping his feet on the ice before when they tried to grab Zizix.
Okay, I'm trying to find my spell save DC. I forget where it is on D&D Beyond. I don't know if the 13 saved or not. Give me a second.
Usually that would save for level 2 characters, but let's take a look here.
13 is the save.
Oh, so he just saves.
Well, shit. Okay.
Okay, so he remains standing and one bandit remains standing. What happens to the other one?
1 second. Bringing it back up. He will take 2d10 fire damage, so let me roll that.
Ooh, that's very nice.
That is 10 fire damage.
And this man incinerates into the flames created by this flaming elephant that's just erupted out of nowhere. And you see Cephalic Caltro's eyes just grow big, showing those icy blue pupils of his. And the other bandit luckily was able to get out of the way, but showing a little bit of hesitation at this point with the immense power shown by this flaming elephant. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yes, as my bonus action, I would like to command the wildfire spirit to walk up to Zizix and cast fiery teleportation.
All right.
Although, if Zizix is down, I don't know if he can be willing or not. Can he?
He's down and dying. I would say yes, he's able to be willing as he's still conscious, but he's slipping away.
Oh yeah, he's willing.
Okay. Then it will cast fiery teleportation, and it and Zizix and Eclipse, assuming she is also willing, will teleport.
Sorry, Billy, you cut off. Will teleport.
Sorry, they will teleport back behind me. I'd say about 10 feet behind me.
Okay.
And then the two of them left within the range of it will need to make dex saves again.
Okay. Their dex saves on that time is 15 for Caltro and 5 for the bandit.
Okay, well, he saves, the bandit does not, so the bandit, 1 second, takes 6 fire damage as the teleportation happens.
6. Alright, so you see now that he's partially on fire, and he quickly grabs some snow around and tries to douse out the flames, but you hear his groans in pain being burned by this fiery elephant's fire teleportation. Very good turn. Anything else?
I don't believe I have any actions left to use, so that...
Talking is a free action too, by the way, you guys.
Oh yeah, I will also then look at what's his nuts
Cephalic.
and just say, all right, now come at me, you fucking bitch.
All right, and that brings us to actually, is it Arcus that went first, or is it LaPointe?
Carcass.
Okay. We'll do Carcass first.
Okay. I would like to rage, please.
Absolutely.
And then I will charge the Icy Man
Okay, charge the Icy Man.
and swing my Great Axe at him.
Right. Roll to hit.
Right. That is a natural 20.
That's a critical hit. Roll damage.
That is 25 points of slashing damage.
25 points of slashing damage, and you rip this great axe across him, and you see him start to cut open to where his very light, not heavy clothing is split, and you see the gash you've created across his chest. What's your passive perception, if you know offhand?
I do. It is 7.
Okay, you don't quite notice this. All right. But he is not happy. He looks very bloody. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No, that is all I can do since I raged.
Okay. Next up will be Leah Ponte.
Leon Ponte, upon seeing the rather successful attack of his dear friend Carcass, is feeling rather confident and would like to throw his boomerang at the man.
Okay. Go for it.
That will be an 18, my friend.
That will hit. Roll damage.
That will be 7 damage.
7 damage. Very good. All right. Anything else?
After that, I would simply like to await the return of my boomerang and hold my ground for a moment.
Okay. That brings us to the bandit's turn, who is still karst in flame, still trying to put himself out, so he's going to use part of his movement to do a quick roll, almost like a rolling dodge, to just douse any outstanding flames that are on him. And he's going to go behind Carcass and take a swing at him with his scimitar. You did not recklessly attack last time, did you?
I did not.
Okay. Just making sure. That's going to be a 13 to hit.
That will miss Carcass.
Okay, that will miss. And that is the end of his turn. Zizix, can you please make a death saving throw?
That's a 9.
That is just missing the save. There's one failed death save for Zizix. Alright. Next up is going to be Sefik Caltro, who is looking face to face with Carcass again. And he's looking for a little bit of payback. He is going to take a swing at you with his longsword. That will be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. That is going to be 7 slashing damage and that makes it 4 cold damage. So 11 total.
Okay, I will take half of the slashing because I am raging.
Right. And then he will look back at you and then look towards this fire elephant and then look at the boomerang that is just still in flight. And it's about to reach Leoponte. But he misty steps and he catches the boomerang in returning and he looks down at Leoponte and says, "You seem to be a very dishonorable man. Let me dispatch you." As he swings his ice longsword. With a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Hey man, I have to announce it.
Hey man, I understand.
Okay, that's gonna also be 7 slashing damage, plus 4 cold damage as well, so 11 damage total.
Ow.
Alright. Next up is going to be Eclipse of the Moon. You have a bandit in your vicinity, and then about 15 feet away is Sefik Caltro.
Okay, I am gonna take my quarterstaff again, and I'm gonna take a nice whack at that bandit's head.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
A 10.
That will unfortunately miss. would you like to do anything else?
I forgot to add my modifier. That's actually going to be a 16.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal. That'll hit then.
Okay. So that's 7 damage.
Okay. Go ahead and describe your fatality.
I'm gonna bring my quarterstaff just straight down on his head, like take a nice jump and just bring it down on his head.
Alright, so you take a small leap and use your falling momentum to just land this quarterstaff, splitting his skull open, seeing the blood drizzle out and wrap around the quarterstaff where it made impact as he falls limp to the ground. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
How far away is Suffolk from me now?
Around 15 feet.
Can I use a bonus action against him since he's that far away?
You can use your movement to close the distance, and then use your bonus action to do your unarmed strike.
I will use my movement to get closer to him, and then I will do a flurry of blows against him.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
That's a 15.
That's gonna hit. Roll damage.
6 damage.
How much did you say?
6.
Okay. You run up to behind Sefik and you land a flurry of blows to the back of his head, to his kidneys, and just land in all these precise areas that you know will deal a lot of damage. And he takes them and winces back and looks back at you and scowls with his deep, icy eyes. And I believe that is the end of your turn.
Yes.
Alright, that bandit is dead, so now we're at Vega Khan. With only Sefik Caltro remaining.
Alright, well, first and foremost, I am going to cast Healing Word backward towards Zizix.
Okay.
And let me roll that. Alright, rolled max. He heals for 7.
Very nice.
And then I will advance on Ice Douche over there.
Okay.
And I will use my 2-weapon attack and try and take him the fuck out.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
That first one's a 7.
That unfortunately will miss.
That's more like it. The second one will be a 23.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit quite easily. Roll damage.
That'd be 3.
Describe your fatality.
Alright, so I swing at him with the scimitar, missing, obviously, but then immediately spin back with the dagger and just drive it straight into his icy fucking heart. And then look him in the eyes and say, "That's for fucking with my friends." And then drop him.
Awesome. Very good. And Carcass, what would you like to do at this point?
Well, everyone is dead, yes.
Mhm.
Then I would like to go over and just put my great axe down onto the icy man and just tell him, that's what happens when you hit my friend Pointy. And I will take no further actions.
All right. And then, yeah, Ponte, do you have anything to add to that?
Leon Ponte will simply walk over and retrieve his boomerang.
From
And
his
then
cold,
with,
icy hands.
from the cold, icy hands, I will rip it back. And then I will simply give Carcass a simple pat on the back and a big, thankful smile.
All right. And then, Zizix, how you holding up?
He's still on the ground.
Writhing
Not
in pain?
moving. No, he's not even making a noise at this point. He's just laying down, playing dead.
All right. Carcass, as you're leaning over and putting the great axe down on Cephik, his eyes shoot back open, and the ice longsword, which dissipated once he went down, reappears in his hand, and he attacks you and plants that sword directly into your chest. That's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
That's going to be 13 plus 5, so 18 damage total, as he says, I'm not allowed to hit your friend. Maybe I'll hit you.
I will get a big smile on my face. Tell him, oh, I am so happy you're awake so I can kill you again.
Alright. So now, with his turn having passed, we're back to Eclipse of the Moon.
Upon viewing this situation, I'm going to approach Cephik and Cargus, and I will take my... I'm just going to do an unarmed strike, and I'm just going to punch him in the jaw.
Okay, he's still technically on his back, so go ahead and roll at advantage.
A 10.
What'd you say?
A 10.
A 10, unfortunately, will miss as he was able to avoid all of your strikes that are just aimed right for his head. His head movement is outmaneuvering your fists at this point. Would you like to do anything else?
Can I take another unarmed strike as my bonus?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it still at advantage?
Yes.
How about an 18?
That'll hit.
Nine damage.
Okay, and you rear back your fist and you hit him straight in the nose, and he falls back down limp.
Yep, that's my turn.
Alright. So with him being put down again, VegaCon, what's your reaction to all this?
Well, having already put him down once, I'm not going to trust it. So I'm going to walk up and stab him a couple times.
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
to make sure he's fucking dead.
Roll with advantage, and he's unconscious, so every attack will be considered a critical hit if it lands.
Alright, well, with the scimitar, I got a 22 to hit.
That'll hit. Which makes it
And-
a critical hit.
Awesome. With the dagger, I missed.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Alright. That would be 10 damage with the scimitar.
Okay, very good. Marcus, did you have some unfinished business?
Yes, I don't like the fact that he stabbed me again, so I am going to stand on the side of him and try and just take his head completely off with my great axe.
Okay, go ahead.
He is prone, so with advantage, that's a
Absolutely.
26 to hit.
And that is going to land just fine, so that is a critical hit.
With a critical hit, that is 29 damage.
29 damage. Whew. So you just use all of your might to just cleave down into this, into his neck. But you feel like you've struck stone as you start to see that behind all the skin it looks like it's a frozen core, like you've hit some sort of frozen rock. And it does not decapitate.
That makes Carcass very sad, so I am going to use my movement and walk away and sulk.
Alright. Lip point. Ponte, your reaction. I'm having trouble saying your name tonight. I usually don't.
Oh, it's okay. Most people have trouble saying it all the time. Leon Ponte, as it is pronounced, will examine the situation, and this guy, he's done, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see the core of him showing.
Cool. Leon Ponte will hastily walk over to join Carcass as he walks, and will just accompany him. But as we get there, I will say to him, "Did you hear him call me dishonorable? Bullshit. I am despicable."
Yes, I don't know what either of those things mean, but I agree with you, my friend.
And I will just spend my time with Carcass until he is back up energy-wise.
Alright, Zizix, how are you holding up at this point?
Still on the ground, not moving.
Alright. So with that, in front of Eclipse, Cephik Kaltro's eyes open up once more. He rises and he stands up and he looks square at your face, right into your eyes. He says, "I sense a little of you within me. It's a shame." And starts to swing with his ice longsword, with all of his skin just slowly seeming to regenerate as ice starts to form around where his gashes have become. Especially noticeable with Carcass's great axe. So he's going to roll a 21 to hit.
Hits.
That's going to be 8 piercing damage and 2 cold damage. And as you maybe start to hunch back and try to ready your attack, he dissipates right in front of you. You lose sight of him. You look back and forth and you look behind you and you see him standing over the body of Zizix, who is still on the ground. And he goes to plunge his sword.
Y'all.
For the record, my fire spirit would still be standing there and would be protective over Zizix.
Does it have a reaction to use to do anything like that?
Let me double check.
Otherwise, it's just standing there, and then immediately this thing appears, and with a downward thrust goes to try to finish Zizix off.
The only reaction that's listed says opportunity attack.
So no, it can't do anything in this moment. That's going to be a 22 to hit Zizix while he's giving him that attack on it advantage.
Strangely, it misses. Oh, kidding, it hit.
Figured as much. Okay, that's going to be 7 piercing damage, but 8 on the cold damage. So 15
Okay,
total.
15.
I'm down again. Well, I'm still down, I guess.
And he looks at Zizix, and he looks to the rest of you, and he picks Zizix up with his ice dagger in his offhand to Zizix's neck. And he says, I will make a deal. You live with this traitor. You let me go. What say you?
Can everyone hear this?
Yeah, he's saying it very loud.
Leon Ponte will shout, "You have a deal."
Okay. And he's going to say, I have a healing potion. I will administer it, but you start walking to town. And he will be here when you arrive.
And Leon Ponte will reply, he leaves with us now. You leave the other direction. That is the deal.
And he kind of smirks, and he looks back at you and looks at the dagger that's at his neck, and he says, if you truly value this life, then I perhaps are in the best negotiating position at this moment.
Leon Ponte is simply going to look around to the rest of the party to see exactly what they want to do.
Are we still in initiative, or
Yes.
can I just?
It's a free action to talk, so you can talk. But any actions will have to wait for your...
Without an action to back it up, though.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said I don't really want to say what I have to say without an action to back it up, though, is kind of the problem.
Gotcha. Okay. So, if there's no immediate answer, the next turn goes to Eclipse of the Moon.
I'm just gonna hold.
Okay. And then that brings us to VegaCon.
One hit point.
Okay. I am going to say, you know what? I don't think we have any way of trusting you, and I'd rather just end this now, as I cast Firebolt at him while also using my bonus action to command the Fiery Spirit to cast Flame Seed.
Okay, so he is holding Zizix up against his body, so I'm giving him half cover. So that will increase his AC a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead and go.
All right. All right, one of them was a 10 and the other one was a 16.
Okay, and the 16 was the elephant flame thing?
No, the 16 was my firebolt, actually.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and roll damage.
All right. That would be 6 fire damage.
Okay. So you very gracefully cast this firebolt and it flies out of your hand or out of your trunk.
Ooh, out of my fucking trunk. I like that.
Trunk for sure.
And just hits Cephik Caltro right in the head. And he envelops in flame and then falls back down, releasing Zizix from his grasp. So Carcass, as you were walking back and then you heard the Iceman start talking again, what would you like to do?
Well, since my rage ended when I didn't hit him in that one round, I am thinking clearly. So I would like to walk over and pick my little friend Zizix up and then use any more movement to walk away with him.
Okay, easy enough. Leoponte?
Leon Ponte is going to draw his short sword and stick to Carcass's back to await another possible attack.
Okay. Zizix. Make a death saving throw.
That's a 2.
At least it's not a 1. Alright. Eclipse of the Moon. What would you like to do?
It's not really wise for me to be attacking anyone at this point. I'm kind of just in shock at the deal that's going down right now, so I'm gonna hold again.
Okay. Vega, what would you like to do?
Alright, I guess I'm gonna use... Well, if Carcass picked up Zizix and walked away, how close are they to me?
They're within 10 feet at that point.
Okay. Oh, I guess that's an action, so then I couldn't hold. Okay, I'll just cast Healing Word as a bonus action again on Zizix, and I'll roll for that in just a second, and then I will hold another Firebolt for if he regains consciousness again.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and give Zizix that healing.
That one was 4.
Okay. All right. So this takes us out of initiative. What would you guys like to do?
Okay, so he's not going to get back up then. He's down.
So you guys know because I just said we're out of initiative.
Well, yeah. I guess that's a little meta, isn't it?
A little bit. All right.
Well, I would like to see who looks worse between Zizix and Eclipse, because I think they're the two that took the most, and cast Cure Wounds on whichever of them needs it the most.
That'd be your final spell slot for the day?
Yes, it would.
Boy. All right.
So who looks rougher between the two of you? I'd say it's probably Eclipse, since I just gave you more hit points than she has, Zizix. So I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Eclipse.
Okay.
And I healed her for 7.
I'm ever grateful, friend.
Oh yeah, you looked like you needed it. I don't know if anybody else has any healing spells or potions, but Zizix could probably use more, and I am all out of magic at the moment. But since Firebolt is a cantrip, I will still try and keep that at the ready in case this motherfucker wakes back up.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that kind of works is like you start to cast it from your trunk, and there's a little spark of a flame just at the tip, and then every 6 or 7 seconds, however long a round is, it'll kind of dissipate, and then you'll have to reignite, just like you're always just at the cusp of casting it. So if that paints a clear picture for you guys.
Yeah. So edging, but with fire spells.
Jesus Christ, Billy.
Who told you my full name? Sorry, let's move on.
All right, happily. What would you guys like to do?
Leon Ponte is going to request that we make haste to a town, preferably the one we were going to get paid, or just by any means the nearest town, in order to recuperate a bit from this rather frustrating and prolonged encounter.
So you would know that the nearest town at this moment is Bryn Shander, and the person who paid you to embark on this endeavor is in East Haven, past Bryn Shander, about 8 hours journey after Bryn Shander.
I would also like to say, do we need to bring something in order to prove that we have, finished the job?
Yeah, I'd say probably. Let's see what we can find on him that would be proof of dispatchment, I guess.
Okay. So let me pull up what he has on him. Who would like to search him first?
Me.
Okay.
I got a 4.
You had a 4 on investigation. So you immediately are drawn to his sword that he has. This one hasn't dissipated, and it's gleaming with just this bright, icy glaze over it, and you can see that it's completely made of ice. And when you grab it, it remains in place.
I will be taking that.
Okay. And what are you doing with it?
I'm just gonna hold it. I'm kind of in awe that it's still in my hand, but not like completely.
Go ahead and make a charisma saving throw.
Eight.
Okay. I'll send you a message here shortly. Who else is going to be investigating him?
Yeah, I suppose I would. Let me roll that real quick.
Okay.
I don't see shit.
Would you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1 plus a 1.
So what with the thought in mind that you need something to take back as some sort of proof, you don't find any personal belongings or any of the sort, but I would say that the thought crossed your mind about how unique his eyes are.
Oh god. Am I gonna have to scoop out this motherfucker's eyes? Because there may or may not be a script I have experience with that I've had to do that. There are plenty of lines. Yeah, I will turn back to Leo Ponte and say, well, I'm not really finding anything to prove that we killed him, except maybe his fucking eyes?
Leon Ponte will have a moment of surprise on his face that slowly turns into a very impressed and approving slow nod.
Great, that's what I want. Leo Ponte's approval.
Leon Ponte is going to walk over, and he would like to investigate the body as well, if possible.
Sure. Go ahead and roll investigation.
That will be a 9.
So you do a better job than everyone else, and you find his coin purse that's been tucked away inside of his vest, and you find 25 gold pieces and a small red gemstone of sorts.
I will place both of those in my belongings.
Okay. Anybody else like to give it a shot?
No, I am busy still holding Zizix up.
Okay. What would you guys like to do at this point? Eclipse, let me shoot you a message.
Did you also send me that information about that blessing I got from that Chewinga?
Sure.
Thank you.
So what would you guys like to do at this point?
I would enjoy making haste to Bryn Shander, if no one is opposed.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I think getting out of here as soon as possible is probably the best course of action.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go try and get some fucking much needed sleep.
Okay.
at this time, Leon Ponte would like to mention in passing that he is still quite rather in pain, as you say. So he would like to walk in the middle of the group, if possible.
Okay, very good. Let's see. So you guys are not too far away. I think it is but a 30-minute walk back to Bryn Shander. So, you approach the walled city of Bryn Shander. And the gates are open, even though it's very late at night, early in the morning, whichever way you'd like to interpret that. But once you arrive in the city, where would you like to go?
I would suggest that we go to the inn and try and get a room for the night, because we all need the rest.
Okay.
Agreed.
Right. So, you make your way towards the inn at the north side of the town. The north look. And inside you see there's a few patrons still turning up for the night, drinking away. Yeah, Ponte, give me a perception check.
You got it. That would be a 20, not natural.
You see the face of a woman with a similar scar to what you've seen previously.
I hate you.
And she looks up, and her robe has been, or her hood has been lowered down, and you see that she is totally defunct of hair. She is completely bald, and the scar that derives from her nose kind of skips her forehead and then continues down the side of her head. And once she makes eye contact with you, she pulls her hood back up.
I will keep this to myself at the moment.
Otherwise, everyone is free to order food, order drinks, get a room at their own leisure.
Go walk up to the bar, and she will ask the bartender for whatever food they have serving at this time.
She looks to you and she says, we have a bit of knucklehead stew left if you'd like.
Yes, I will gladly accept that.
And she says, 2 silver.
And she will pay her as such.
Okay. And she quickly darts back to the kitchen and pulls out a bowl full of this nice looking stew and says, enjoy, dear.
Thank you. And she will very quickly devour that. She's hungry.
Okay. What would the rest of you like to do?
I'm just gonna ask right away how much a room is.
She looks to you and she says, well, there is a room available. The one that I recall you staying in the other night has actually been rented out to a metal fella.
Well, how long ago did he check in?
He's been here all night. Said he was heading out in the morning.
If you notice him leaving before we're up in the morning, please stop him and let him know that we are here and we'll be finding him in the morning.
All right, will do. Won't be hard to miss him. But I have I need 2 silver for the room. I'm sorry, 3 silver for the room. 2 silvers for the meal.
2 silver. All right, no problem. I'll give you that real quick. How many would you say can comfortably fit in this room?
Comfortably 3 if you're including the small one.
All right, no problem. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Eclipse is gonna look to Vega and she's gonna go, I call dibs on one of those positions.
You're breaking up. Whoever's trying to talk.
Sorry. I'll look back at her and say I was assuming it would be me and you and Zizix. I suppose we should find out if there's anywhere else we could get a room for Carcass and Leoponte. Or if they'll have to knock on Lysander's room and try and stay in there.
That may have to be the case.
So I'll turn back to her and say, I'm sorry, did you say that this was your last room available?
Yes, it was. I'm sorry.
Do you know of anywhere else a couple of our friends might be able to get a room?
You can certainly try the House of the Morning Lord. I believe they have rooms available there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
With Leon Ponte at the bar as well, did he hear all of this?
Yeah, it was definitely quiet enough to be able to pick that up.
Okay, then Leon Ponte will order 2 dinners for he and Carcass.
Okay. Yes, that'll be 2 silver apiece.
No problem. And I'm going to whistle for Carcass to come and eat.
Yeah, and she quickly has that ready. She seemed to have many bowls ready once you guys started walking in. Can I offer you anything to drink?
One of your strongest fire waters, if you do not mind.
Right away.
I will come and eat, but first I will ask, shake Zizix, who is still up on my shoulder, and say, hey, little fella, would you like to get down?
Zizix isn't gonna move.
Okay. It's okay. You can stay there as long as you need. And I will just go to Pointy and start to eat.
As Carcass joins me, I will let him know that we will be spending the night in the Lord... what was the name?
The House of the Morning Lord.
In the House of the Morning Lord.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
That is where you stayed previously when you were here in
Yes.
Bridgeshander.
I'm going to interject real quick and say, you know, you could always go knock on Lysander's room and see if you could stay in there with him.
Leon Ponte will reply that no, everyone deserves comfort tonight, and Carcass and I, we are used to sleeping on our own, just the 2 of us. I do not want to disturb anyone's rest. We will be fine.
All right, that's fine. I'd say let's all meet back here in the morning before we embark.
Can do.
Okay. So, heading to your rooms. That's Eclipse and Vega. Is Carcass leaving Zizix with them, or is he taking him to the House of the Morning Lord with him?
Only if he wants to get down. If he is comfortable, I will leave him to where he needs to.
I will go ahead and approach Zizix on Carcass's back and just say, "Hey, bud, Eclipse and I have a room. If you want to come stay with us, I can carry you up there, or they're gonna go to the House of the Morning Lord, and you're welcome to go there with them too."
Zizek still isn't going to respond and just look like he's just dead still.
Leon Ponte will chime in. Upon looking at our dear friend Zizix, I do believe he is quite comfortable in the arms of Carcass. So I give you my word, we will protect him tonight and return him in the morning.
Okay, I trust you with them just fine. I just I think he might have cast something on himself or taken a potion to make himself appear dead.
Would you like to make a medicine check?
Anything in a while.
Leon Ponte is going to say, if my memory serves me correct, even a single drop of blood has sent him into a rather panicky state, and this was quite a bit more than a drop of blood. I think he might just be a bit shaken.
Okay, you could be right. Either way, hopefully he'll be all right in the morning.
Carcass, shall we depart?
Oh. What?
Are you ready to head to the place and sleep? No?
Oh, yes, okay. I would like to head to the place and sleep. This little person, he is going to come with us.
Yes. You will protect him throughout the night, yes?
Yes, nothing will happen to him.
All right. So, with that, it seems that Vega and Eclipse are the first to head to their rooms for the night. Is there anything that you would like to do before you head to sleep?
No, I think Eclipse, being exhausted from her almost very dangerous encounter, she's just gonna go right the fuck to sleep.
How about you, Vega?
Yeah, Vega didn't really get hurt per se, but he's still pretty damn tired. So
It's a lot of work healing.
Yeah, he's gonna pass right out too.
Okay, very good. So, we move to Carcass, Viaponte, and Zizix traveling through the streets of Bryn Shander at night and heading towards the House of the Morning Lord where they had been before. The streets are fairly empty. What's your mindset at this moment, Leon Ponte?
My mindset? Is that what you said? I'm sorry?
Yeah, like, are you actively searching for that person like you were the last time? How freaked out were you by that again?
A bit more controlled. Leon Ponte is right now concerned with making haste to get to the building in order to find safety for Carcass and Zizix in this moment.
Okay. So, with that, you're not having any issues at all making your way through the town, finding the House of the Morning Lord. And you arrive and you see a similar number of acolytes, worshippers sitting at their worshipping stations, and see the same person you did previously standing around and kind of just monitoring everybody. And they say, welcome back. Were you looking for more accommodation?
Yes, we were hoping that if it was not too much of an issue, that we could stay another night in your lovely place.
Not at all. I can make something available to you. What's wrong with your friend there? As she points to Zizix, who lies motionless.
He will be okay. He's a bit fragile to the harsh nature of the world, and it got the better of him today. But a good night's rest will bring him back to tip-top shape.
Can I take a look at him if you don't mind? I would like to put some healing salve on his wounds. They look quite grim.
Leon Ponte will say, as you wish, and then will obviously gesture to the gash across his chest that has had no attention.
And she obviously didn't notice this at first, and she says, "Oh, you're in some kind of trouble." And she hurries back to the back, and she brings a bag, a leathery leather sack, and she reaches in and she pulls out this kind of paste and starts maneuvering it across your gash and getting a second second scoop of it, and still attending to it, and then switching to Zizix after that. She looks at Carcass and she says, "Does that hurt? It looks like it's quite deep."
Oh, yes, but I will be fine. I like the hours of battle.
Would you let me place the salve on you to help the healing?
Oh, how does it taste?
No, you do not eat it. It would just go directly onto your wound there. The thingy that hurts.
Oh, my tongue hurts very bad.
Oh, well, it probably will not taste very good.
Okay, then I do not want any.
All right. Well, very well. I will show you to your rooms. I apologize once again that we do not have any pillows.
Just as before, this will not be a problem.
Yes, I still have my pillow.
Okay, very well. And she takes you back and she shows you where the room is. Again, same room as before, very makeshift accommodations, very bare minimum. And she says, "I hope you rest well. You guys look like you had quite a day."
Leon Ponte will kind of chuckle to himself and say, "You have no idea."
I'm quite sure I would have none. Please. And she kind of bows and backs out of the room and allows you to start resting.
Once again, just like the last night, Leon Ponte will undo his bedroll and sleep with his head against the door, facing is it the same room as last time?
Yep, exact same room.
Then facing the creepy window once again.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I will undo my bedroll as well and lay my pillow that I got from the red man the day before down. And then I will put Zizix down onto the pillow very gently. And then I will curl up in a ball beside him and lay down to sleep.
Okay, very good. So, you guys get a full night's rest. What would you like to do in the morning? We'll stick with you guys. Zizix, you would sleep as well.
Leon Ponte, right as I awaken, what do I see?
You just see the empty room. Just Carcass probably snoring and sprawled about on the floor, and Zizix probably probably still in a little bit of pain, but you feel great. Your wound looks to be very clean. Doesn't look infected at all.
And I do not see a spooky face looking at me through the window,
No
correct?
spooky face at all.
Then Leon Ponte would like to, as quietly as possible, exit the room and make his way just outside of the building.
Okay. What would you like to do once you make your way out? Are you stealthing out so nobody else really follows you, or what was the plan there?
We.
You?
Yeah. Yes, we as in yes, I will be stealthy.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
That will be a 17.
Yeah, that would beat the passive perceptions, I believe. Zizix, you don't have a passive perception higher than that, right? I didn't think you did.
He ran up, but I'm looking, he does not.
Okay. Very good. So yeah, you make your way out. What would you like to do?
I would, does the front of this building, are there stairs that go down? Is it just a door that leads to the level ground? What's going on exactly at the front of the building?
So at the front of the building, there is a set of stairs on both sides that lead up to a second level. And then you see that there is a large pillar on that second floor that ascends up. And that seems to be the structural foundation of the spire that erupts from this building. Upstairs you find like a few collections of mess tables and stuff like that.
Then I would simply like to sit on the steps in order to just look out at the city of Bryn Shander in front of me. And I would like to keep an eye out for the woman.
Okay.
And I will wait here until Carcass and Zizix make their way outside.
Okay. And I assume it wouldn't be too long after that Carcass you would wake up. Zizix would probably be asleep longer with how hurt he was. But I'm going to go ahead and say Carcass would wake up first. What would you like to do?
Well, if Zizix is not awake yet, I will gently shake him and say, "Hello, my friend. It is me, it is Carcass. Would you like to sleep, or do you want to go with me today?"
Oh, where are we?
Me and Pointy brought you here to sleep for the night because you did not want to move from my shoulder.
Well, I'm really confused. I had a really bad dream. There was lots of fighting, and I don't know, I got like kind of messed up. That was all a dream, right?
Oh, fighting. That sounds like a very good dream, my friend. Perhaps next time we can share your dream.
I mean, maybe.
I do like the blood.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm concerned about.
Do not worry, my friend. I will help protect you. That is why we brought you here for the night.
Well, I really appreciate that. Who's we?
Me and Pointy.
Oh, where's everyone else?
Oh, I do not know. But Pointy might know.
Well, okay. Let's go. Let's go find him.
Okay. Do you need a ride again, or can you walk today?
And Zizix will look up and down, and he'll say, "No, I'm feeling fine."
Okay. By the way, this is Carcass, by the way.
Yeah, I know who you are. Well, I think I know who you are.
Okay, that is good. I am glad that you know who I am, Styx. Let's go find the pointy.
All right.
And Zizix will just kind of pat him on the arm and just nod.
And you guys head outside, and you find Pointy sitting on the steps overlooking Bryn Shander.
Good morning, my friend. Zizix, it seems your strength has come back, no?
Oh, what do you mean?
Semantics, never mind, my friend. We must be heading to the inn to meet the rest of our friends.
Okay. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of missing some time, I think. I don't know, I had a really strange dream. It was actually more of a nightmare. I don't feel too good about it.
Well, what do you say we see if we can scramble you up some breakfast? And the company of friends, I believe, will bring you back to full force, no?
I'm definitely hungry.
Then Leon Ponte will begin leading back to the inn.
Okay. And we'll jump over to the other group who also had a very nice, relaxing sleep. Would you guys like to head out into the tavern for the morning?
Yeah, I'd be wanting breakfast, I'm sure.
Surely.
Yep. Sure.
All right. So heading out into the tavern, you open the door and head down the hallway, and you find that Lysander is waiting at the door leaning up against the door frame with his arms crossed and his hat kind of lowered, but you recognize him immediately.
I'll walk up to him. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, I was just gonna ask, who sees him? Like, is it Vega and Eclipse?
It's Vega and Eclipse, yeah.
Oh,
they see
okay.
Lysander.
All right, well, I'll immediately walk up to him and be like, well, hey there, friend.
Good morning to you.
How have you been?
Been doing okay. How are you guys this morning?
Oh, a lot better than we were last night.
What happened last night?
Oh, plenty. Zizix almost died. He's good, though. Eclipse probably almost died, too. But she's
Close.
Where is Zizix?
He is with Carcass and Pointy. They went to stay at the House of the Morning Lord for the night.
Is he safe?
Oh yeah. Carcass will keep him safe. May not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's capable of protecting Zizix, and they should be back here anytime now.
Well, come over, let's have a seat. How about you tell me everything that happened?
Yeah, I will do that as soon as I order some breakfast, and I'm going to try and catch the attention of someone that can take my order.
Yeah, and a burly shield dwarf has taken command of the bar, and he says, "Oi, what can I get you?"
I will take whatever version of knucklehead trout you are offering for breakfast, as I'm sure that is mainly what is on the menu.
Alright, we have Knucklehead Benedict tonight, this morning. Well, I gotta stop staying up all night.
Sounds delightful. I will take that.
Would the rest of you like some as well?
I will happily take a plate.
and he looks to Lysander, and he kind of squints at him, and he says, "Is your kind the kind that likes to eat?"
I used to be the kind that likes to eat. I don't eat, but thank you.
To suit yourself. And he hurries back to the kitchen, and he comes back with 2 plates of this Knucklehead Benedict. And he says, "Oh, this mayonnaise has been rotten for 2 weeks. It is delicious."
Didn't realize that was a selling point.
Oops,
But
sorry, sweetie.
all right.
It's only the rottenest mayonnaise that makes a great Benedict. That's what my mother always told me. And as you guys are being served, Leoponte, Carcass, and Zizix all make their entrance into the tavern, where they see you 3 sitting at a table about to have breakfast.
Leon Ponte will make his way over to the table to join.
And I will follow him.
Okay. And the barkeep is gonna see that you guys are sitting down, and he says, "Oh, would you like some of this delicious food here that I just brought your friends?"
Yes, my friend. Make it 3.
Oh, all right, we got it coming out for you. Didn't drink water in between takes.
Leon Ponte will turn to his friends and say, "Good morning. Did everybody rest well after the bit of a fiasco that we had yesterday?"
Oh yeah, slept like a baby.
And Zizix is gonna pipe up and say, yesterday? What happened?
Really quickly, Leon Ponte will go, "Oh yeah, and that's happening, by the way."
Well, I suppose Lysander's wanting to be filled in on what happened too anyway, so do we just want to tell them both everything that just happened?
Leon Ponte will gesture to Vega that he is more than welcome to regale them of the story.
All right. Well, we set a trap of sorts for that guy we were paid to track down. He came out and found us about a mile south of town. Tried to kill Zizix because, he thought he'd skipped out on his duty to be sacrificed. And we all dispatched the fuck out of him and his 2 friends. And that's pretty much what happened. I found the flame elephant. That was pretty cool.
Zizix, as Vega's telling this, his face is just gonna go paper white. And he's gonna say, no. That was just a dream. How do you know what I was dreaming last night? Are you a mind reader?
I'm gonna turn to Zizix. Friend, are you okay?
I mean, I think so, but he just told you the nightmare that I just had. That's weird. How do you know that?
I already took a swing at this. Anybody else want to have a go?
Leon Ponte will quietly chuckle and go, "This has been the entire walk over here, so I believe I've taken my swing."
Eclipse is gonna kind of like crouch down in front of Zizix and go, "You may want to believe that that was a dream, but we all experienced that. And you and me, we almost died. And we're here. And it's over."
In my dream, I died like twice. Did that really happen?
You may or may not remember, but I also saved you twice. And you didn't die, you just got real, real close. But we've all got your back, and we kept that from happening.
Zizix is clearly traumatized by what happened yesterday.
And at this point, the bartender returns with the rest of your food, and he says, "But you smell that? That's ripe, I tell you. Please, enjoy."
Yes, it smells horrible. Can I have a second bowl?
Zizix will slide his over to Carcass.
Oh, never mind. I have a second bowl. Thank you, little friend.
And he bows his head and says, "Enjoy. If you need anything else, just let me know." So,
I will get out my special fork and I will start eating as fast as I can.
all right. What would the rest of you like to do during this time? Finishing up your food.
Leon Ponte would like to quickly examine the room to see if he sees his special stocky friend.
You won't need to roll because you do not.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna keep my eye on Zizix while the rest of the party eats. I'm going to suggest, Zizix, you should try to eat something. Keep your strength.
And he's gonna wave his hand and say, "No, it wouldn't stay down."
I'm gonna get up and walk to the bar in the tavern and call the attention of the keeper.
All right, what can I do for you?
I'm gonna lean over and ask him, I know this might be a bit of a strange and albeit exotic request, but would you happen to have any chocolate milk?
Oh, I saw some chocolate in there the other day. Let me go check. And he scurries to the back, and a couple minutes go by. You hear the clattering of pans, and you hear furniture being moved, and he comes back and he shakes his head and he says, "I'm sorry, I thought I had something, but seems like we're all out of chocolate."
That's a damn shame. Well, I appreciate you looking for me. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can get instead?
Any kind of sweets at all?
Oh, I have just the thing. And he comes back and he returns quickly with a pastry.
I'll take it.
Says that'll be 2 silver.
You got it. I'll hand him 2 silver, and I will take the pastry over to Zizix and set it in front of him. Here you go, friend. Give that a taste.
Before he does, I'm gonna interject and say, hold on. Last time any of us ate pastries, they were drugged. So why don't we double check first and make sure that this one isn't?
Why would they be drugged?
Yeah, I don't think you guys want Zizix on drugs.
I think we do. I think we really do.
I mean, actually, Zizix could probably use it at the moment, so if he wants it, I'm down. I'm just letting y'all know it might be a possibility we want to think about.
Go ahead and look. If you want to look at the pastry and investigate it, go ahead and roll investigation.
I will do that. Three.
I mean, it looks like the same color, but I mean, it's a little different.
I'm gonna try and smell it and see what I can determine through that.
There you go. You could definitely smell it with advantage.
Even with advantage, that's a fucking 8.
Ah, man. You know, they just smell all the same sometimes. It is fruit, so the other one was fruit too. So
I'm just gonna say, I can't tell. I don't know how I thought I'd be able to, but I have no idea if there's drugs in this or not.
Real quick, Leon Ponte is going to rise from the table and say that he will be back in 15 to 20 minutes, and he will head out into the town.
okay.
I would like to make my way towards a market or a merchant of some sort. I am looking to have this gem that I found on the body identified and somewhat valued monetarily.
Okay, very good. We could do that real quick. Give me 1 second. So, you find your way to Black Iron Blades as your kind of best guess of who can really ascertain the value of it. Might be an armor of sorts to see if it's worth anything. And you see the half elf that is manning the store, and he says, "Welcome to Black Iron Blades. How can I help you?"
Yes, my friend. I was wondering if you could perhaps give me a estimated price on this, and I will quickly reveal it in my hand.
And he says, "May I?" as he gestures that he would like to inspect it by hand.
You may.
And he collects the gemstone from your hand and he brings it onto the table, sets it down, and starts looking it over. And he says, yes, this is very nice. It's a very nice little ruby here. Are you looking to sell it?"
I may be, for the right price.
"And what is your price?"
What is your offer?
"My offer for something as exquisite as this, I would say 75 gold, and it would be a great crest and a circlet that I'm planning on making."
Could I attempt an insight roll to see if he is being fair with the pricing?
Yeah, you can certainly try that.
That will be a 12.
12. Yeah, he seems on the up and up about it.
You, my sir, you have a deal.
And he very happily says, "Yes, I'll have this to you in a moment. Give me one second." And he hands the ruby back to you, and returns from the back room just as quickly. And he says, "I'm a little short, but perhaps I can give you a discount on a future purchase."
Perhaps. Is there maybe something you are willing to trade from your store to cover the deficit?
Well, I just finished with a batch of rapiers. If you would like a square trade on one.
So a rapier and the 75 gold.
No. The rapier plus what I have left, what I have available. I unfortunately only had 35 gold.
Leon Ponte will accept this deal.
Very good. And he places the rapier on the table along with the 35 gold. And he goes to take the ruby from your palm.
I willingly allow him to retrieve it.
Okay, and we have a successful transaction that is totally above board and legal.
Hey, look at that.
Alright.
You, my sir, have been both an honor and a gentleman to interact with. I thank you. Leon Ponte will leave.
Okay, and he says, likewise, return any time if you find any more jewels. So, cutting back to everyone in the tavern, sitting around the table. What's been going on since you finished your food?
Did Physics ever eat the pastry that I offered him?
He probably would have taken one bite of it.
Okay.
Well, you can save the rest for later, I suppose. Sorry you had such a rough day.
Yeah, if this is the way things are gonna go, I think I need to, I don't know, get some new tricks.
New tricks. Care to elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I need to learn some more spells. Maybe, not offer myself up as bait.
You were offered as bait?
I mean, yeah, I went along with it. I didn't know the guy was gonna try and kill me.
To who and what, for what purpose exactly?
Well, we had a job to find this guy, and we needed to draw him out of town. So here we are. Now that you're back, you could be that guy next time, okay?
I'd be happy to be. Are you sure you're gonna be okay, friend? Because you've got me quite a bit worried at this point.
I mean, aren't we all like kind of not okay? I mean, you're kind of, you know, a shuttling kind of guy. We have an elephant that shoots fire out of his trunk.
What?
Oh yeah, I can shoot fire. also
You also what, Billy? You cut out?
I'm just telling this to Lysander after he said what to that. I can also call a fire spirit that takes the form of an actual elephant. So that was also kind of cool.
That would certainly be a sight to see.
Yeah, he went over there and caught a couple of them on fire, and then pulled Zizix out for me and teleported him to safety, so to speak.
I smashed someone's head in.
That was also pretty cool.
My evening wasn't nearly as exciting.
Well, pray tell us, what did you do?
Well, I went to investigate more on those invisible footprints. Rather, the footprints left behind by invisible people. I guess to say that I was investigating invisible footprints is a pretty oxymoronic thing to say. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
What's about? Did you even see them? Go on.
Anyhow, I tracked them to their source, and they seem to be humanoid. They seem to be something possibly a reptilian or a fish person, perhaps. I lost their tracks once they got through the ice, but whatever these things are can tread the bottom of the lake. I found my way to an abandoned ferry dock station and had the overwhelming sense that I was being watched, but I could never see what this thing was.
So I'll clarify for you because I may not have been clear in my messages with you, Nick. You found two separate sets of tracks. So you found a set of tracks that looks similar to what you saw in Kaer Konig with the invisible people. And then this other set of tracks that looks monstrous you also found on the side on the edge of the lake.
Right. Yeah, those were the prints I was talking about.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And monstrous as in they are humanoid, but they are webbed and they are leaving behind vegetation that you would find at the bottom of a lake. Whatever these things are, they can traverse the land and the water with no problem. I wasn't getting anywhere though, so I went back to the inn where the innkeeper told me to meet you in Brimshander. So that's why I came here.
Right on. That's very, very interesting.
Some local fishermen had been reported missing, so I figured it was worth investigating.
Who knows? Maybe eventually it'll be worth investigating as a party. We'll see where everything takes us, you know?
Mayhaps. I'm glad you're all alive.
Me too.
Ditto.
Hey Sam, is this the inn that has the picture of the Order of the North on it?
Yeah, it is.
That's gonna catch Zizix's eye again, and he's gonna go up and inspect it.
Okay. What would you like to look for?
Well, he sees some people in there that he thinks he may have seen before. Some people that may have opened up the tea shop in Luskin.
Yurik open up a tea shop in Luskin, or is it on the coast, like by?
We opened it in Luskin, and then I believe we opened multiple branches.
Okay, that's very true. Yeah. Go ahead and make a history check.
That would be a 20, not nat.
Yeah, you definitely recognize Yurik and Dez that had opened up a tea shop outside of Luskin.
The tea shop was called
What was it called?
Kettles and Bits.
Kettles and Bits.
So then Ziz is going to point at the picture and say, "Hey guys, I know some of these guys."
I'm gonna walk up and stand next to him, looking at the picture. Do you now?
Well, the blue one, I definitely know I've seen. You don't see too many blue ones around. This other guy looks kind of like maybe the guy. I don't know. He looks a lot younger here.
And are you pointing them out like on the painting?
Yeah.
So, as your finger approaches the painting, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's a 13.
So 13, you're caught a little off guard, but next to the painting is that mounted knucklehead trout that's just a huge size, and it's old bitey, and it's mounted up on the wall, but as your finger draws near, its head snaps, bending its body in half, and it says, "There's a place I go, farther up the river's flow. Where it is, I do not know. Must be under all that snow." And then it returns to the wall.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
Is this time what is it, Billy Bassmouth?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That's awesome. Did it actually get my finger?
No. It was just a check to see if you were scared and immediately jumped back or not.
Oh, okay. What the hell was that?
Pretty entertaining is what the hell that was.
Well, I mean, so I've seen those guys at a tea shop in Luskin. And they had hot chocolate.
Well, that's great for them. I wish we had some here, but we sure as shit don't. If we could get this goddamn cold to stop, we might be able to get some chocolate up here.
Has Leon Ponte returned at this point?
I would say you'd be coming close to returning, yes.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to check.
Okay. We'd say you walk in now. I'd say that's about appropriate.
Okay, Leon Ponte, upon seeing his friends gathered around the painting, will make his way over to them.
Uh-huh.
And say, my friends, what is it that you are doing?
As Zizix will say, "Oh, I'm just pointing out that I know these guys. At least two of them."
Which ones?
And he'll point out
There's a place I go, farther up the river's flow. Where it is, I don't know. Must be under all that snow.
Leon's mouth will just sort of be open, and he will lean in and look at the people and say, they kind of look like assholes. Shall we get going?
Dude.
Don't we need to see about the guy that we killed?
Yeah, we gotta go to what is it, East
Haven.
Haven? We gotta go to East Haven for that. It's what, like 8 hours away?
We better start walking then.
All right. And as you guys depart Bryn Shander, that is going to be where we will take our break.
Real quick, before we leave the inn, after everybody exits, I'm going to go back to the painting. And I'm going to set the fish off again.
There's a place I go, farther up the river's flow. Where it is, I don't know. Must be under all that snow.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
And I'm gonna just chuckle at it. And then leave.
Sounds like Smoker Kermit. If you guys are enjoying me and my silly voices as Leon Ponte de Moise, then you should head over to Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, or Spreaker, or wherever you get your podcast, and check out Drunk of the Dead, where myself and the talented Sean Parker pick a horror film, pick a guest, watch it separately, and drink together, and review the film, and chaos ensues. Subscribe if you enjoy what you hear, and you can find all of our merchandise at teespring.com/drunkofthedead.
That merch is pretty sick, I will say. That shirt?
Merch is awesome.
Chef's kiss. What's next on the docket for you guys, or is that privileged information?
Oh, what next on the docket would be The Midnight Meat Train, starring Bradley Cooper.
Huh. Never heard of it, but what a title.
It's a trip, but it is quite enjoyable, and I do recommend everyone watch it. And then I recommend you download the episode when it drops in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks away. All right, so that's pretty close. I'm trying to make a joke right now about the meat train and the midnight train going anywhere. Do they meet somewhere and, you know?
Oh yeah, it's really what it is it's a visual retelling of Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, just frame for frame. It's really interesting how they pull that off in a horror setting.
Yeah, it really, I imagine it really would be with the street lights and the people.
Yeah, and you have Bradley Cooper as the city boy.
Born and raised from, what was it, South Detroit?
Yeah, South Detroit. That's where it starts, but it's not where it ends.
It could be anywhere. It could end anywhere.
Listen to Drunk of the Dead, everyone.
Pick back up inside the town of Bryn Shander, just outside of the North Look Tavern, to where we see the party starting to decide which direction they want to go, where exactly they want to be, and how soon they need to get there.
Well, I guess it's East Haven we're needing to head to, yeah?
We.
You.
Stop.
Well, let's head to East Haven then, shall we?
All right. So, this trek is about 8 hours long, give or take, and heading out, you guys are met with a very gloomy morning. The cloud cover is very starch. It's hard to see any sunlight, even though it's already a little bit muffled or dimly lit. But heading out, you guys are starting to face a little bit of a cold wind that's trudging, and what seems to be colder than even usual. Definitely closer to minus 53 degrees to be exact, because you guys are really great at chilling temperatures. So let's go ahead and make some rolls. Who's going to be leading the party and who's going to be following up on the rear?
I guess I will go ahead and lead again.
I would like to remain in the back.
Okay. Let's see what we get here. Right? Let's see here. Okay. So as you guys travel out about for an hour or so 1/8 of the leg of the journey, Vega, you're noticing that the weather is starting to make a turn for the worse, and it's starting to really grow in volume. The snow that's falling down starts to get a lot thicker, more globulous, and it's starting to be carried with the wind directly at your face, so it's kind of even hard to continue moving forward.
Can I determine or guesstimate if this is a storm that will be moving through and passing over, or?
So I won't make you roll for that because of how bad it looks outside. Like, it looked pretty bad leaving town, but seemingly out of nowhere, the clouds have just grown horribly dark. And it looks like it stretches for miles and miles.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll turn to the party and say, guys, this is getting pretty bad, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. We may want to take some shelter or something. I don't think we're going to be able to travel another 7 hours through this.
Eclipse will look up to the sky and say, I agree. This all looks too treacherous, especially if we keep going forward. Let's just go ahead and pitch our tents.
Leon Ponte will agree with Eclipse.
Okay. So, you start to pull out your tents and start assembling. Who would be doing the assembling?
I will volunteer my services. With
I mean, I'll help in any way I can.
As will I.
Okay. So there are, how many? 3 tents? So we've got 3 volunteers?
Yes.
Okay. I would like the 3 of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Shit.
Almighty.
That would be an 18 for Leon Ponte.
Alright. About Eclipse and Vega.
I got a 21, not natural. Well, duh, obviously, but, you know.
Right.
Right. I got an 11.
All right. So Vega, your tent that you're assembling cuts with the wind and flies up, and you're not able to grab it in time as it starts to roll away. And as you start to move towards it and try to, make your way to going to retrieve it, being stuck in the snow, all around the party a white wall emerges of snow, just seemingly being swifted up from the ground, swirling all around you and slowly encompassing you into this whirlwind of a snowstorm that's condensed down into a dome around your vicinity. You hear a voice. The voice calls out, "You have killed Sefik. How dare you?"
Who was he to you?
And the voice pauses, and what sounds like a deep breath is actually just a gust of wind whizzing past your ears. And you hear the voice say, "I don't have to answer to you. I have something to say to you, and that, I say, is to tread lightly, or it might be your undoing. And you, I am ashamed of you." And as quickly as it arrived, the snow, whirlwinding around you, falls flat, and everyone is completely drenched in snow. The wind dies down, while the overlooming clouds remain.
Well, shit.
That was unpleasant.
Leon Ponte is going to remain quiet, but continue setting up the tent.
Yeah, after I stand there for a moment in shock, I'm gonna kind of try and shake it off and then go retrieve the tent that I was after when that happened.
So you've seen now that once you were encompassed by that snow globe, if you will, that tent is no longer there.
Ah.
Fucking wonderful. Of course.
So, onward?
I mean, you said the clouds are still there, but the storm has died down?
From what it was, yes, but it's still a gloomy looking day. It looks like the snow's falling down still fairly globulously, but it wasn't as bad as it just was, for sure.
So something we feel we'll be able to travel through, or something we'll still want to set up shelter for?
It's essentially your call, because it looks like it could get worse. But for the time being, you could push through. It's really a judgment call on your part.
Well, I'm going to suggest, since it's died down at least a bit for the moment, we go ahead and keep trying to move on, but keep in mind that we may end up having to stop and set up camp still before we get there.
I'm okay with moving on a little bit further, but if we see any signs of it getting worse, then we absolutely should stop again. We can't risk keep going.
Sounds wise.
All right. Moving on. Let's see. You travel for another 4 hours, and there's been nobody else on this road. It's just been you making this journey. You're a little bit over the halfway point. You've crossed over the crossroads that connects Goodmead and Bryn Shander and East Haven all together, as well as Caer-Dineval to the north. But you come across a 4 little creatures laying in the snow. They seem dog-sized. And it's kind of hard to tell exactly what they are from afar, but they're laying down.
And who saw this? Did everyone see this? I apologize. I may have misheard.
Vega would have seen it because he's leading.
Gotcha.
Sorry. I will kind of put my hand up as to say, have some caution here, and slowly start to approach them.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh. Six.
They look like wild dogs, but really wild. They're not wolves, but they look really wild.
Do they look like they're alive and just laying down, or do they look like they're dead?
Well, it's really hard to tell. You don't see any movement, though, with that roll. If you want to get all the way up to them and make a medicine check, you can certainly do so.
All right, I'll turn to the party and say, I can't tell if these things are alive or dead, so I say we approach with caution. If they still haven't moved by the time we get to them, I'll see if they're dead or not.
We're with you. Let's check on them.
Alright, go ahead and make a medicine check. And then anyone else who wants to try to identify them can make a nature check.
Medicine check was a 6.
They're dead.
My nature check was a 19.
Upon doing your medical examination, you're able to determine that these are actually cheetahs.
What?
I'm sorry, not cheetahs. What the... Not cheetahs. They're... hyenas. My apologies. Hyenas.
Oh. Okay. Interesting. Well, I will turn to the party and say, well, I believe they're dead, and they're hyenas.
Why are there hyenas dead in the middle of a snowstorm? Seems suspicious.
Hyenas normally hang out around here?
So, these hyenas are, they live in a winter climate, these type. There are different types of hyenas that live throughout all of the Sword Coast.
Okay.
But, Eclipse, give me a perception check.
In 19.
You hear some groans of pain coming from one of the dead hyenas.
One of them isn't dead. It's in pain. It's alive.
I do believe we should fix it, help it if we can.
So as you approach it, you notice that all of these hyenas are pregnant.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, we may have a different kind of problem.
Well, who wants to be a midwife?
So bad. Me.
Somebody help me cut these things out of here, please. Thank you.
Leon Ponte will help with his rapier.
All right. And as you start to kneel down, you see something coming up over the hill. Make a perception check.
Someone specific or who?
Whoever is doing the cutting and assisting.
Gotcha.
That would be a 17.
And that would be a 14.
Vega spots this, and you see from about 60 feet out, over this little snow mound, you see a knoll standing atop the hill, and it's looking down, and it points its spear at you, and starts screaming in a language that you don't understand.
What is a knoll?
A knoll? I will send in a message on Discord.
Appreciate it.
1 second. That didn't work. Okay. Okay, uploading. There we go. It's in the general chat. That is what a knoll looks like. It has very impromptu kind of worn armor. It's got a very tribal looking shield. It has linen wraps going up its legs, and it looks very animalistic. And at the head of it, looks like the head of a hyena.
Wonderful, and I'm sure it thinks we do these things.
Leon Ponte is going to turn his head to Vega and say, I'll follow your lead.
Does anyone in the party have a way to speak to this thing?
Nope.
A way to cast comprehend languages or anything at all?
I'll bet that if you turned into one of these hyenas that we're witnessing right now, you might be able to persuade them a bit.
It's worth a try. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I might try and hide myself behind the rest of the group as much as I can before I change, just so it doesn't watch me change.
Okay. How to hide an elephant in the room?
I'm thinking mostly behind Carcass because he's the largest, but
Okay.
I can hide as much as I can. I know I can't completely hide myself, but just so I'm not standing out there in the open, turning into a hyena, then walking the fuck up to it.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Great, I'm wonderful at that.
And this should be a good roll.
Yeah, that's a 2.
You shapeshift into a hyena.
Yep. And then I'll, I guess, slowly start approaching it.
So you start sheepishly kind of approaching this knoll that's sitting on the hillside, and it looks directly at you. And it puts its spear, points it upwards, and it starts walking towards you. And you see that its lips, or its tongue, is starting to lick its lips.
Like I'm appetizing to it?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
No.
You should have said that.
No.
Yes, you should have.
That wasn't savory.
What'd you get?
That's an 18.
It looks like it wants to eat you.
Alright, that's better than Nick's suggestion for its intentions.
Oh no, I'm glad that didn't make air.
I'm not.
Oh.
Okay, then I am gonna stop advancing toward it and start slowly backing towards the party and see. I'm assuming it'll keep coming towards me.
As you start retreating back to the party, it kind of stops in motion and it starts yelling out,
Alright,
pointing its spear at you.
Being a hyena, can I understand it at all?
No, it doesn't give you any special advantages to understanding it.
Sweet.
As hyenas do not speak no.
That makes sense. Well, I'll stop backing up, but kind of stay where I am and see what it does.
So it doesn't move any closer. It kind of keeps its distance and continues yelling at the party and starts shaking its spear in anger.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have a way to fucking talk to it as a hyena, I guess. So I'm not going to approach it if it just wants to eat me. So I'm just going to go back to the party and keep watching it while I do so.
Okay. And it continues to hold its position and stare and looks at you and then glances back towards the hyenas that are on the ground.
Okay, when I get back to the party, I guess I'll change back into me. Say, well, that was a waste of a wild shape. It looked like it wanted to eat me when I was getting close to it. I think it is mad that we are infringing upon its meal.
I am not comfortable leaving the baby hyenas to be eaten by that thing.
I would agree. Should we dispatch it before we get the babies, or should we get the babies and bring them with us and let it have its meal? Or I don't know. I don't know what to do here.
I say we hold our ground. You guys take care of the babies, and the rest of us will give you a battle line.
Leon Ponte will nod and say, I like this plan very much.
Alright, well, whoever's helping me get these babies, let's get to work, I suppose.
I will help again.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a medicine check to start to perform surgery.
Nice. If they're helping me with it, should I just roll it with advantage, or do you want us each to roll?
You can each roll individually, or one of you roll with advantage. That is your choice.
I'm fine with
Right.
rolling with.
Yeah, I'm decent at medicine, so I'll try it with advantage.
Sounds good. Sir.
Yeah, that'd be a nat 20.
Oh, perfect. You've done this before. So it seems.
Perfect.
And you study the anatomy of this animal, and you start to make the incisions where they need to go, and you see the head of a baby hyena start to become apparent in the blood and all of that. That's all that good stuff in there. And as you pull it out, something is wrong. You see that this baby hyena is not a hyena. You see that it has thumbs and hands and elbows.
So it's a baby gnoll?
You have just delivered a baby gnoll.
What the fuck? I'm gonna look at the rest of the party and say, guys, this ain't a hyena. This is a baby gnoll. And now I don't know what to fucking do.
Leon Ponte will put a hand on Vega's shoulder and say, "My friend, there is no shame in putting it back where you found it."
Eclipse will interject and wholeheartedly disagree with that statement. We are not just going to leave it here to die.
Sorry, whoever was speaking just cut out.
Say what you want to say again.
Eclipse will interject with La Ponte and wholeheartedly disagree. We are not to leave a baby here to die in cold or to be eaten.
No, of course not. I just would, how you say, prefer to not touch it.
Alright, well, it's a little late for that for me.
It's a little late for that.
As I motion to the blood all over myself. You know what? Sam, was this the only one that appeared pregnant? Or did more than one of them appear this way?
All of them appeared this way.
Oh boy.
Right.
Okay, tell you what, guys. Start moving away from these hyenas, and I'm going to go take this baby to the gnoll. And if it attacks me, you can all come and have my back, but I'm just going to try and give it its baby and let him know that we're not encroaching on the rest of them.
I'll walk up there with you.
I appreciate it.
All right. And as Lysander and Vega start to embark with baby Null in the arms of Vega, you see that the Null is starting to retreat its position as it looks to be outnumbered and starts pointing and yelling at and shaking its spear at both of you while walking backwards slowly.
Okay, I will put my hand up as I pause and turn to Lysander and say, why don't you wait right here? If things turn violent, just come help me.
I will nod and stand here.
And I will slowly start to approach again by myself.
Okay, go ahead and make a
With-
persuasion check with advantage. This will just be like a body language kind of persuasion kind of thing.
That would be a 14.
So the gnoll starts pointing its spear at the ground and starts yelling at you again.
I will kind of lower my body a little bit as I keep approaching. You know, kind of hunkering down, lowering my head, if that makes sense, but still maintaining a line of sight.
And the gnoll is gonna start shaking its spear again and yelling in its language, and then it puts its spear down on the ground and points at it and then picks it back up.
I see. I'm gonna try and find some small piece of cloth in my bag or something.
Uh-huh.
And wrap the baby up in it and set it down.
Okay.
And slowly back away from it.
And as you're backing away, the gnoll starts advancing rather quickly to the small baby gnoll and pulls from its pack what looks like a large haunch of a hyena leg and feeds it to the baby. And the baby just so ravenously and instinctively starts tearing away at the flesh and starts gnawing on the bones, and you hear the cracking of the small joints in this hyena bone as this baby is going to town on it.
Aww, how cute. Alright, I'll keep backing away and try and rejoin the rest of the party to move on away from this horrifying experience.
Back at the party, Carcass, Leoponte, Eclipse, and Zizix, you start hearing cries of pain coming from these hyenas. As you turn around and look, you see these tiny claws erupting from the belly of these beasts, and then you see the face of the hyena emerging, and then you see them start to devour their host.
Leon Ponte is going to slowly place a hand over his mouth in shock and take a few steps back until he is safely behind Carcass.
Yes, and I am going to get my wheel of cheese out because I am very suddenly hungry.
Alright, so you guys are backing away, and as Vega and Lysander turn back to glance over, you see the party now moving away from the group of hyenas, and you see these tiny baby gnolls emerge from them and start devouring them piece by piece, just fervorously, like they haven't eaten ever, which is technically true.
Alright, well, as opposed to walking all the way back to the party to then redirect ourselves back onto our route, I'm just going to say, let's just fucking go, guys, and just try and meet up with them on our route. Not like make my way back, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yep, and Eclipse will follow because she has had enough.
Above table, though, what a fucking metal way to be born.
Nature is metal, man.
Yeah, those hyena babies were punk.
Alright. So, you guys depart that scene and make punk hyena babies. Depart that scene and you make your way towards the town of East Haven, to which you arrive, and you're met by the sign of "Guard Your Pockets" written along the entryway, as East Haven is well known for having a lot of thieves and pickpockets running rampant throughout town. So, what would you guys like to do at this point? The sun has set, by the way. It's been nighttime for a good while you were traveling.
Leon Ponte will say to his friends, I do believe we should make our way to the inn and see if we can find our employer to receive the payment, no?
Yeah, I would agree. And then promptly get a room once we've been paid.
All right. And you guys make your way to the inn. Believe that is on the north side of town. And inside you see the woman that had bestowed you this quest, Hiln Trollbane.
All right, we will approach her, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in the middle of devouring down a big hearty bowl of knucklehead trout, and looks like it's not stew. It looks like it's just chopped up little bits, and she's going to town on it. And, she looks up and she says, "Oh, are you back already?" And she puts in a deep swallow and I'm sorry. You're back already.
We will proudly say, we are back, and the job has been, how you say, completed to your satisfaction.
Very good. I trust your word. I shall bestow payment on you. And she pulls out from her sack 125 gold pieces, and she says, "Since it was so quick, I suppose it might be worthwhile that I throw you a little extra there."
Leon Ponte will say thank you ever so kindly. Extra payment is never a problem when you hire the night thief and his friends.
Tell me, did he die slowly?
Well, I don't know about slowly, but he died several times, if that helps.
One could make the argument that he died extremely slowly.
This is great to hear. He has inflicted his own view of judgment on this realm far too often for him to go out quickly. How did you do it?
We did it by killing him.
Yes, but spare no detail.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Hit
Leon?
him with our weapons and killed him.
The only thing that kept him down, it seemed, was fire, specifically. Once he had already been down, fire did the final job.
I see. He was truly an agent of Oral then.
An agent of who now?
Oral, Frost Maiden, the god that bears this plight of a winter on us.
Yeah, you could have told us that he was an agent of her before you sent us on this, because she's a little pissed about it, it seems.
But I did tell you. I told you he was carrying out her justice.
Yeah, I assumed he was a vigilante, not divinely appointed.
How am I to know the roster of the ranks of a god?
Fair enough, I suppose.
Leon Ponte will say, well, we have been paid and he is dead, so I think all in all this was a success, everyone? No?
I would say so.
I'll go ahead and divvy up the payment. giving everyone else 21 gold pieces and keeping 20 for myself.
All right. And as payment is bestowed, the tavern keeper says, "Oh, celebrating, I see. What can I get you?"
I'd like to start with rooms for the night.
That can be done, sure. Anything else?
Leon Ponte will order a glass of the strongest fire water that he has.
And he'll count. He'll hold up one finger and say, "Okay, I forgot one. How many more?"
I'll take one as well.
That's
So that-
2.
Yeah, you know what? I could fucking use one.
3. Do I hear 4? I hear 6. Very good. I will be right back. And he goes back and starts pouring some fire water. He comes back and he says, "That will be 2 gold for the lot."
All right, I'll get that.
Thank you kindly.
So he actually brought 6.
Yep, he brought 6.
All right, well, I'm gonna look at the 3 who didn't order one. Zizix, Lysander, and Carcass, and say, "Do any of you want one?"
No, you can have it.
Might do you some good, Zizix, after the long couple days you've had.
No, I don't drink that stuff.
Very well. I will take one, and I will raise a glass.
Carcass?
Oh, no, I do not want anything. I have my meal.
Okay. Then I'm going to hand one of the extra ones to Eclipse and keep the other one for myself.
Okay.
And
Indeed.
Very good. So, those who are taking 2, please make a Constitution saving throw.
For Eclipse, that'll be a 13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Signasty.
nat 1 plus 3, so 4.
Okay. Eclipse, you're not feeling a damn thing. It's not hitting you the same as it would, but Vega, oh man, Vega is feeling it. His trunk is having a hard time grasping things like he usually holds his mistletoe shoot, and it's just dropping all over the place. But with your Constitution save, you kind of feel like this fire water was cut. It was cut with water.
Hey, Vega. How are you, buddy?
I cut a baby out of a hyena. And then it fucking ate a hyena.
I know, isn't that just totally bonkers? Eclipse is just gonna awkwardly pat him on the shoulder and try to pick up his mistletoe whenever he drops it, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
That shit was bonkers, man. And there was so much blood. And they just ate them. They ate them all.
So is life. We all get eaten at one point, I suppose. I can get us a room. Yeah, and Eclipse is gonna turn back to the barkeep after this display and ask to purchase a room.
And he says, yeah, absolutely. It's upstairs, down the hall on the right, it's your third door on the left.
Thank you so much. Let's go to bed, buddy. Huh? Does that sound nice?
Yeah, I hope you remembered what he just said, because I just heard something about rights and lefts and somewhere in a hall. So I hope you got all that. I didn't.
I know. Let's go. She's gonna try to guide him upstairs to the room.
All right. So you guys have made your way upstairs, leaving Carcass, Leon Ponte, Lysander, and Zizix.
Leon Ponte, after finishing his beverage, will be also making his way to a room to rest for the night.
Okay, easy enough. Carcass, are you following suit?
Yes, I will go with Pointy.
Okay, very good. And what about for Lysander and Zizix?
I'm gonna stay here and just keep an eye on him. Just observe what he's doing.
What are you doing, Zizix?
Just staring into space, pondering his life and how he got there.
Yeah, that's good enough for me.
I know that look. I'm not the most expressive person, but I know that look, my friend.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What's on your mind?
Well, lots of things. But nothing I really care to talk about right now. Those hyenas brought up some bad memories.
I understand. We'll go at your pace.
I think I just need some sleep.
That would probably be good for you.
Alright, and you guys are retiring to your rooms, I assume?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay up for a little while. I would like to go back to that abandoned ferry dock where I saw those footprints.
Okay, yeah. Very good. Ooh, that was a hard take. Whoops. Alright. So, Zizix goes to his room. You kind of make sure he gets there, and you start heading back out into the night. And you make your way down to the lake shore and over to the ferry that you had traced those tracks back to. Let's see here. So East Haven's ferry consists of this keelboat, and it's trapped in the ice at the end of a wooden dock with a small cabin situated towards the aft end of the hull. The lake isn't totally frozen. You can see as you look out, you see that it's frozen up to a point to where the dock ends, and then it goes out about 10 more feet or so, and then you see the water still fluid and not frozen.
All right. Do I see any lights or torches coming from the cabin? Are there any windows in the cabin of this boat?
Yeah, there are windows, but there are no lights coming from them.
What time is it at this point?
Hard to say exactly when, but you think it's past midnight.
All right. Well, I'm not going to go and wake them then. But you said earlier that I had tracked the footprints into the dock where I lost them, where I felt like I was being watched.
Yeah, so they kind of got swept away at that point with the wind when you were tracking them. And then looking out onto this little keel boat with the cabin on it, you felt like something staring at you, and you kind of feel the same feeling at this point.
I'm going to keep an ever watchful eye on the surface of the water, and I'm going to keep my eye on those black windows.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check.
That would be a 6.
6. Yeah, you're looking around, but you see nothing but darkness and just the constant motion of the waves hitting on the ice.
I'm going to hang out there for about an hour or so.
Okay.
See if anything changes.
Are you standing guard or are you hiding?
I'm going to stand guard. I'm not going to... If I feel like I'm being watched, I'm just waiting for whatever may be watching me to present itself.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Go ahead and make a perception check.
That would be a 15.
So you hear some footsteps coming from back towards the city that you can't immediately place anybody to those footprints or those footsteps. But as far as keeping watch on the boat and on the lake, you're not noticing any movement at all.
Do the footprints sound abnormal? As
No,
in they might be strange?
They just sound like, the snow crunching beneath someone's feet.
I would like to try to investigate that and follow the sound of the crunching snow.
All right. So the crunching leads you to the back alleyway of the first set of buildings. The city is run quiet, and it seems like that the sound has been carrying across this silence that's set in on the town. And you find about a smaller than human-sized footprint, maybe a little bit wider in the snow.
Does it look like the ones that I saw the night before?
Very similar.
It looks fresh.
It looks pretty fresh.
And I only see the one footprint.
Yeah, you only see one set. But you see where it's going.
I'm gonna follow them.
All right. And as you're following behind, are you being stealthy or are you being just, quick and fervorous pace to keep up or catch up?
I will operate stealthily at this point.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
That's 23.
23 is very good. So you are doing your best to stay undetected, and you feel like you're doing a good amount of that and doing it successfully. You start to lead or find these tracks that are leading you back around. It takes you to the back door of the Wet Trout, the tavern inn that you guys had just left, and then around the inn, going back north towards the lake. And then you find yourself back close to the ferry dock. Make a perception check at this point.
That's a 12.
That's enough to be able to hear a door shut, and it seems like it came from the side of the lake, as opposed to coming from where the town is.
Huh, okay. Can I triangulate where I heard the door shut?
The only thing that would make sense to you is that cabin on that boat.
Are there any wet footprints on the dock leading to the boat?
Yes,
Any
there
mud?
are.
I'm gonna board the boat.
Okay. What would you like to do once you jump onto the boat?
Yeah, it is safely tied to the dock.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Safely tied to the dock in the sense that all the water around the boat is frozen.
No rope tying it to the dock.
There is, but even if it was not, this boat isn't going anywhere because it's trapped in ice.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then I'm gonna go knock on the door of the cabin.
Okay. You knock on the door. There is no answer.
I'm gonna knock again.
And you're persistent. But there's still no answer.
I'm gonna make my way to the front of one of these dark windows and tap on it with my metal finger.
Okay. And you tap on the window and you don't see anything inside, and nothing responds to the sound. It's completely dark in there. No light source at all.
I'm gonna go back to the front of the door. I'm going to lightly... Is it a handle or a doorknob?
Yeah, it's a doorknob.
I'm going to very slowly turn it to see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
I'm going to strike a torch.
Okay.
And I'm going to knock one more time.
And same result, there is no answer.
I'm gonna say, you can either come out or I'm gonna come in. I mean you no harm.
You are met with silence.
Then I'm going to slowly open the door. Does it go inward or outward?
Goes inward.
Then as I push the door open, I want to lead with the torch in hand.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check, and I'll tell you what you see.
My heart is racing. I'm actually kind of scared. That is an 11.
Inside of this room, it's not very big. The space is about 10 feet square, so 10 feet on each side and 10 feet long. All that you can see are 4 sleeping bags and a few packs kind of tucked away. There is a table, which looks like it has some sort of rolled parchment on it. That's all you can see in this room.
I'm going to peer behind the door before I advance inward.
Yeah, that's very, very cautiously you start to peer behind the door to make sure there's no one hiding behind it, and you see no one there.
So it's 4 sleeping bags, a table, and a piece of parchment.
And a couple of bags kind of tucked away on the side by the sleeping bags.
Do the sleeping bags appear to be occupied?
No, they're empty.
Okay. I would like to look in one of the bags.
Okay. Go ahead and excuse me. Roll investigation.
Uh, 10.
All right. So inside of the bags, what you're finding is just a large stash of rations, all the bags look to be pretty much the same size, but you're seeing a lot of dried meats, a lot of mushrooms, a lot of other things that you know don't grow in a lot of light.
All right, and I'm gonna make my way to the table where the parchment is sitting, and see if there's anything written on it.
So as you approach the parchment, it becomes apparent that this is a hand-drawn map of the 10 towns, and it has every location of the 10 town settlements. And then it also has one place that doesn't fit where any of the other towns are. Go ahead and make a intelligence check to kind of just try to discern what you might think it is.
$18.
You feel like that this is the fortress that you guys had stumbled upon outside of Kaer Konig.
The Dark Dwarf Fortress. I'm gonna look back to the sleeping bags. Are they smaller than regular sized sleeping bags? Maybe about this, just regular.
It looks like that
size.
a tall medium-sized creature like a human or an elf might be troubled to fully cover up without going into a fetal position. Yes.
And there's no other rooms, no other lower deck. This is it. I'm gonna look out the windows. Do I still have that sense that I'm being watched, or do I feel alone at this point?
You feel like you're being watched.
Okay. remembering now that they can turn invisible, and having watched them, the footsteps, I'm going to roll up that piece of parchment, and I'm going to make my way to the door.
As you start to roll up the parchment,
I'm gonna pop my sickle.
as you start to pull up the roll up the parchment, I am going to make an attack roll at advantage for being surprised. So this is so there's going to be a piercing trying to be stabbed into you with his dagger, and that's going to be a 19 to hit. Okay. That's going to be 7 piercing damage. And then that's an additional 6 psychic damage. And I would like for you to roll initiative.
That would be 18.
Okay. Just beat it out. Oh man. It rolled a 17, or it got a 17. 1 second, let's set up this combat screen. So, a dagger has just pierced you from behind and left a stinging that resonates through your chatelaine crystalline metal, and you feel it ringing in your head. What would you like to do on your turn?
First off, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Which will give me 7 healing.
Okay. What else would you like to do?
And I am going to unarmed strike.
Okay.
Where the dagger had been put into me.
Alright, so you will be rolling at disadvantage because you cannot see.
That's an 18 at disadvantage.
That's very nice. Go ahead and strike.
That'll be 5 bludgeoning.
Okay. And it will make a concentration check. And it will save. And it will remain invisible. You know what? I screwed you on that. They do appear after they attack. And you see one of these tiny creatures, these Duragar, standing in front of you with a dagger. So you attacked anyway, but I made you at a disadvantage for no reason. My apologies. You're able to hit it.
Alright, cool.
Anything else you would like to do?
I think that is all I can do.
Okay. So now its turn. It's going to try to run around and try to flank you in a certain way. It seems to be scurrying around quite fast, but it still has its dagger out. And it's going to roll to attack, and it's going to miss with a 9 to hit. And it will try once more with its second attack with a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That's going to be 6 piercing, 5 psychic. And it begins talking. Do you speak Dwarvish or Undercommon?
Neither.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check to try to see if what you can try to understand from this.
That's a 15.
You manage to make out a word that sounds like Chardolin from what he's saying.
Ah. Okay. With that, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself one more time.
Okay, so that is one action.
That's 5 to heal.
All right.
And I am going to drop my torch on one of the sleeping bags in hopes that it will catch fire as I bolt out the door.
Okay. You will be prone to an opportunity attack. That's an 18 to hit.
Is he between me and the door? I thought he got around me.
He was so he was around you. He got around you, but he put himself between you and the door, and he said something about Chardolin. So you're kind of getting the sense that he might be wanting to try to keep you. But even if that wasn't the case, he would still have an opportunity attack as you were leaving his threatened range.
I have got an opportunity attack if you try to get around me.
You don't get an opportunity attack because he never left your threatened range. He could stay within 5 feet and move around you. Just like you could do the same to him. But once you try to leave that 5-foot radius, that's when he's able to strike. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do not want to provoke an opportunity attack.
Okay.
So, where is that table?
That table
between
would
him
be
and
at it would be at your back if you're facing him.
Then I would like to, as my bonus action, use an improvised attack to grab the table and put it and swing it around and try to either hit him with it or to put it between him and me.
Okay. We'll go with that. Go ahead and roll your improvised attack.
That's a nat 1.
You swing really high, and the legs of the table go right around him, and the momentum of the table carries, and you end up on the other side, so it's now beside you instead of next to you. You've swung it a whole 270 degrees around. Is there anything else you're able to do?
No, I don't think that there is.
All right. This Duragar is going to make its 2 attacks on you. That's a 23 to hit. The next one is a 17 to hit, but that hits, right?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. That is 6 piercing damage and 12 psychic damage.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
Okay. And as you start to fade into unconsciousness, as you're succumbing to this resonance that's emitting from these dagger strikes, you fall to your knees, and then slowly he approaches you, and he takes his finger and puts it on your forehead and pushes it back. And then you fall down onto the ground. You are unconscious. But the fleeting words coming out of his voice in very broken common. That's a lot of Chardolin. And you fade into your sleep. So, everyone back at the tavern. You guys retired for a nice long sleep. Zizix, did you go straight to sleep?
I believe I did, yes.
All right. So, at that point, once you wake up in the morning, you're going to quickly realize that Lysander's not in the room with you.
I would head down to the main area of the tavern to see if he's down there.
And you see everyone else has already awoken. And they're starting to have their breakfast, I assume, guys? Just start your day like you've normally been?
Oh, yes, I will be eating my breakfast.
But you don't see Lysander.
And Zizix is gonna just kind of yell, hey guys, have any of you seen Lysander?
No, we all presumed he was still upstairs with you.
Yeah, no, I have seen Carcass when we woke up, and then I met him down here. So no, I also assumed he was with you.
Well, I mean, he took me upstairs to go to bed, and I just passed out. You know, it was kind of a rough day, and yeah, I just woke up and he wasn't there.
Leon Ponte will say to the group, well, let's not panic yet. Why don't we look throughout the town? Maybe we split up for a bit and we see if we can find him. Perhaps he just went to hit the markets or for a morning walk. No?
Well, knowing him, he likes to go out and hunt monsters, and if he was doing that here before, maybe he had unfinished business that he was trying to finish. And Zizix will go up to the barkeep and say, excuse me, sir.
Yes, how can I help you?
Yeah, did you happen to see where the metal man went?
I haven't seen the metal man since he took you upstairs last night.
Have you been down here the whole time?
I've been going back and forth between here and the kitchen, but yeah, essentially.
I see. Well, he's not the kind of guy that would have just gone off by himself without telling anybody, so,
I'm gonna interject there and say, I mean, he kind of strikes me as the type that might, actually. And last time we were here, he was investigating, what do you say, footprints down by like the dock or something. So he might have just gotten the itch to go investigate that again. Maybe he just left this morning before you woke up. I mean, he doesn't sleep, or he could have gone last night even. But I'd say that'd be the best place to start.
Leon Ponte will add to the point that I do believe this is a strong lead, but I also believe looking briefly throughout the town is not a bad idea either. So perhaps Carcass and I will do that and then regroup down by the docks.
I think that's a fine idea.
And Leon Ponte will pat Carcass on the back and say, "Come, my friend. We have to find our metal friend."
Okay, we will go find the metal man.
And Leon Ponte and Carcass will depart and head into town.
All right. And then what of the rest of you?
I'll be suggesting that we start looking at the docks, because that's the last place he was talking about when he was here before.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's go down to the docks and see if he may be down there, or if someone else down there has seen him.
All right. And that is going to be where we end for tonight.
Woo, fun.
So what did we learn from today?
Don't split the party!
We already put
You know, there was a lot of overtones of like, yeah, you're still being watched. It's very dark in here. You see a lot of things in this bag that grow in the dark. So whatever it is, even though it's completely dark in here beside your torch, doesn't need light to see.
Yeah, I walked right into that trap.
You quite literally did. So next week, we'll be figuring out the fate of Lysander and what is to become of him. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Everyone have a great rest of your Wednesday night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.